Hello, this is Bill Stodden, and I am running for president as a candidate from the Socialist Party USA. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the federal jobs guarantee and how we can go about getting that. As it stands right now, people need to acquire money to obtain every necessity in life. Some people have an easier time at that acquisition than others, especially if they can skim surplus value from the labor of the working class. As a worker myself, I don't have that ability, and if you are listening to this message, it is likely that you do not either. So, we need a job, which allows us the privilege of trading away portions of our lives, measured in hours, for a few dollars at a time. With that money, we are able to acquire food, shelter, and medical treatment, as well as a few items that make our life of toil a little more comfortable. This is a problem, however. Among the many things that the owning class owns, one of those things is our job. And in most places in this country, the owners, or the representatives in management, can fire us for any or no reason whatsoever. When we lose our job, we lose access to the money we use to buy food, pay rent, and recover from illness or injury. In other words, if we don't work, we don't eat. And the only way we can continue working is if the owners of our workplaces determine that it is still profitable to keep us employed. But what gives the owning class the right to ever take away the working class's innate right to exist? What gives them the right to take food out of my kids' mouths, or to take the roof off the house I happen to pay through the nose to rent, or to deny my family the ability to go to the doctor when they need to? Or, to put it another way, why do we tie my ability to meet basic human needs with another person's ability to profit? Why don't I have a job guaranteed to me, regardless of how the boss is doing? Our campaign seeks to answer that through a federal job guarantee. This job should allow me to adequately provide for myself and my family without the insecurity of the ups and downs of some wealthy person's stock portfolio. I should be able to feed and clothe my family, stay in my home, and visit the doctor, regardless of the owner's ability or desire to pay me. My needs should not be in any way dependent on another person's greed. We can accomplish a federal job guarantee through a robust civilian national service program. This program will guarantee work for all those who want work, at a thriving wage, with full benefits governed by law. We would be guaranteed work that would allow us to meet our family's needs without having to rely on any other individual or corporation. A federal job guarantee through a national service program comes with a host of advantages that make it a positive step towards socialism in the U.S. First, it essentially nationalizes the workforce. No more can a boss hold the threat of starvation or loss of health insurance over our head. A national service program can ensure that nobody ever goes hungry, even if they lose their job through layoffs, offshoring, or whatever other corporate euphemism that employers use when they want to save money on labor. It also ensures that the going rate for labor in any given sector is set by the national service level, which should be significantly higher than the minimum wage, thus putting upward pressure on the private sector actors to compete. Second, soaking up excess labor capacity in the National Service Program can create a shortage of labor available for the private sector. This will force private sector operations to compete with one another for labor, causing them to offer still higher wages and more attractive benefits packages to workers while preventing inflation. If strong private sector price caps are placed over the market, profiteering capitalists will not be able to pass on additional labor costs to consumers, and private sector firms will either need to cut into their record profits or face extinction, creating a follow-on effect of decreasing wealth inequality in this country. Third, a national service program will provide the government with a pool of skilled labor that can take jobs that the government used to contract out to the private sector. Canceling public contracts to the private sector will end the corporate welfare that allows private sector corporations to exploit workers while reaping the extravagant windfall of government largesse. Instead, our society will supply its own needs at cost, and workers will be able to work for a thriving wage in both the private and public sectors without having to resort to welfare programs to supplement their substandard wages and lack of social services. A federal jobs guarantee through national service will allow us to do a number of things that the Socialist Party seeks to accomplish. We can cut the defense budget by no longer paying defense contractors. We can extend national health care and free higher education to Americans by creating these systems through the National Service Program. We can rebuild our public infrastructure with an army of NSP workers that can work anywhere and everywhere. We can ensure that all have what they need to live and live well. And we can give tens of millions of recent graduates the soft skills and work experience necessary to be excellent workers after leaving the program, while offering them a life where they don't have the shadow of crippling student loan debt hanging over their heads. We can devote the most productive years of our working lives to improvement of our country, rather than selling them dirt cheap to greedy capitalists. And we can promote a sense of civic responsibility and restore a sense of community to our society. The Federal Jobs Guarantee is a program that this campaign endorses, and it is something we can create even before a revolution to immediately improve the living standards of workers. It is a program that we can and should get behind, because it will make an immediate difference in our lives. Thank you.
I'm William Stodden, Socialist Party USA candidate for president, and I approve this message.